So Republicans have been ramping up their rhetoric against the No Kings protest that's going to take place around the country on Saturday, October 18th. They are really coming out hard against this nonviolent, peaceful protest of upwards of 10 million plus Americans, according to the organizers. And what are they saying about these protests? Well, they're calling anyone who participates in them or the organizers, they're saying they're Antifa, they're anti American. We'll show you some clips about what members of Trump's cabinet are saying, what Mike Johnson is saying about the No Kings protests. But before we get into the clips, my name is Matt. I post about politics every single day here on YouTube and other platforms that are linked down below. It would mean the world to me if you gave this video a like. If you subscribe to the channel, it would help me out a lot. But yeah, let's get into this video and hear what Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy has to say about the No Kings Day protests.
Want to wait for a big rally of a No Kings protest when the bottom line is who's running the show in the Senate? Chuck Schumer's not running the show. The No Kings protesters or organizers are running the show. Is AOC threatening a primary against Chuck Schumer? Is she running the show? But you need a strong leader in the Senate to take control and make decisions. And Chuck Schumer's blown in the breeze. He has no power, no authority, because he's given it up to his primary opponent, potentially in AOC, or to the No Kings protest organizers. And it's shameful.
And Secretary.
Yeah, you heard Sean Duffy say there, and at the end he kind of tails off to talk about Chuck Schumer and AOC, whatever. But this is what Sean Duffy said about the No Kings Day protest. Quote, "The No Kings Day protest, Maria, it's really frustrating. This is part of Antifa, paid protesters. It begs the question, who's funding it? Well, the No Kings protests that have happened so far have not been funded by Soros. They haven't been funded by dark money groups. No, it's been activist grassroots people. You might have attended a No Kings Day protest last time, but the reality is that the message has gotten out to these Republicans, whether it's from Team Trump or from congressional Republicans. The message is, call the No Kings Day protest Antifa. And this is ridiculous and scary for a number of reasons. Number one, of course, we know that it is overwhelmingly, of course, nonviolent, very peaceful. It happened last time. Everything was fine. People protested nonviolently, and it was a wonderful, fantastic, joy-filled event of protesting and exercising of people's First Amendment rights. But also, this is where the problem comes in and the danger comes in, because Donald Trump held this roundtable last week, if you recall, about Antifa, the dangers of Antifa, calling Antifa a terrorist organization, even though it's not really a real organization at all. So now if you go to a No Kings Day protest and Sean Duffy and the Trump administration are calling you terrorists because you're participating in an Antifa activity, does that mean that we will be labeled terrorists if we participate in this protest and exercise our fundamental First Amendment freedoms? Maybe. And the thing is, it's not even just Sean Duffy. It's not even just the Trump administration that is talking about this. It's Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House. This is what Mike Johnson said just 3 days ago. He slammed the No Kings protest scheduled to take place at the mall in DC on October 18th, and he described it as a hate America rally that would, quote unquote, draw the pro-Hamas wing and the Antifa people. Now, Democrats, to their credit, of course, condemned Mike Johnson's statement, saying that the protest movement, of course, was very peaceful, had nothing to do with hating America. In fact, this is about loving America. And this is really, truly ridiculous and dangerous rhetoric from Mike Johnson, who, as you recall, said not that long ago after the assassination of Charlie Kirk that, well, we all need to tone down the rhetoric. It's getting too much. But now he's saying, well, no, this is a hate America rally. It's being championed by the quote unquote terrorist wing of the Democratic Party. Really? That's toning down the rhetoric, Mike? We're going to go there. You know that that's not true, Speaker Johnson. You know that the No Kings Day protests are overwhelmingly peaceful and of Americans who are just out there trying to respect and represent the First Amendment and use their First Amendment rights as much as they can. It's not a terrorist group. It's not Antifa. It is asinine. It is frankly un-American for you to call this protest, to call protesting in general, using your First Amendment rights on Americans. So shame on you, Mike Johnson, for that. But last but not least, Senator Roger Marshall also decided to chime in on the No King's Day protest, and notice how the rhetoric is very similar to what Mike Johnson and Sean Duffy used as
And then
well. Here's
October
clip.
18th is when the protest gets here. This will be a Soros paid-for protest where his professional protesters show up, the agitators show up. We'll have to get the National Guard out. Hopefully it'll be peaceful. I doubt it as well. So I think that they have to get that march done. They have to show their protest. They have to fight like they're saying here. This is all a political show. It's all a political scam right now. This is
Yeah, again, just shameful from a sitting United States senator calling a mass nonviolent protest. Well, it's going to be violent. Well, we got to get the National Guard down there. And this operates on multiple levels, right? It operates on a level of trying to instill fear on people who are trying to protest. Again, maybe many of you who are watching this video will be out there on Saturday using your constitutional right to protest. So fear is number one. And number two, it's just sucking up to Donald Trump. You see how the message went out to these Republican allies. Clearly, there was a mass email chain or a mass text that said, no, we're going to just start calling these No King's Day protests Antifa. And because we're calling Antifa terrorists now, that means that if you participate in these protests, you're Antifa. This is not about curtailing terrorism. This is not about protecting people. This is not about using the National Guard in a smart and effective way, which they have not done so far. This is about scaring people. This is about stifling speech. These people do not like the First Amendment. They do not like when people speak and dissent against their beliefs and their views. This is what I think is the key point here, is that this is not about what they would like it to be about. When Donald Trump did his roundtable about Antifa, he talked about how the cities were burning, how everything was horrible, how everything was awful in Portland and in Chicago and in DC. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. We know it's a lie. I'm here in DC. It's fine. It was fine before the National Guard got here. They didn't do anything. They straight up did not do anything but stand around and look bored. I talked to a lot of them. They didn't want to be there. They wanted to be at home. And when you have people like Mike Johnson, when you have people like Roger from the senator from Kansas, it's just Roger Marshall. It's just shameful. It is just absolutely shameful. And this is where we really get into it too, right? There's more Republican rhetoric about the No Kings event, and the more that it turns hysterical, the easier it is to believe that the party is increasingly worried about the growing public backlash to the GOP agenda. That is absolutely spot on. These guys don't care about the First Amendment, but they are most concerned about not safety, but about the backlash against Donald Trump and being wiped out in the midterms. I mean, seriously, that is what they're concerned about. Because when we all go out there on Saturday and march peacefully and nonviolently and exercise our First Amendment right to do so across America, they will see that millions and millions of Americans are opposed to their dangerous agenda. They're opposed to their dangerous agenda. And I just want to go back again to what Mike Johnson And I just want to go back to what Mike Johnson said. And I just want to go back to what Mike Johnson said because, I mean, truly it is shameful. And Mike Johnson knows better, but, maybe he doesn't. But the fact that he described this rally and this peaceful protest as a hate America rally and a pro-Hamas gathering, it's disgusting. It's disturbing. It is so disgusting because it is so antithetical to what this protest is and what protest means in the American canon. Protest and exercising your free speech rights is so uniquely American. We cherish what it means to be able to protest. And so when Mike Johnson criticizes these No Kings protests as being anti-American, I'm not the anti-American, Mike. My fellow protesters, people out there protesting for No King's Day peacefully and nonviolently, are not anti-American. They are pro-American. They are pro-America. And the only people in this situation who are not pro-America are people like you, Speaker Johnson, people like you who hate when people exercise their First Amendment rights. If people go out there in the street and they peacefully protest and they say, I hate Donald Trump, I dissent from this government, I dissent from what is happening in this country, that is not anti American. That's pro American. That's pro Constitution. And so, Mike Johnson, I hope you're listening. Please take this as a note. Be more American, not less American. Be pro protest, not less pro protest. Be more pro Constitution, not less. And that's a lesson all of us can hope to remember. But that's it for this video. My name is Matt Rain. Please make sure you give me a like and subscribe if you like the content. I'll be making more. Links to my other social media accounts in the bio below. Thanks again for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And if you're going out to the No Kings protests on the 18th, make sure you stay safe, be comfortable, and have a great time. Have a good one.